Twitter is apparently feeling the exodus to blue sky. And the way that I know that is Elon Musk is rolling out some changes. So one involves a new feature that allows users to hide likes, shares, and reposts. And that's an interesting feature to add. Is that something people have been like calling out for? Like that's the issue with Twitter? I don't think so, but that might be a necessary feature if you know that engagement is going down thanks to the exodus, and some people might want to hide the fact that they're getting less engagement on their posts. Being able to hide all of it as a feature means that people won't necessarily see that there's less engagement going on. And there's an extra layer to this. Elon Musk was tweeting, as he always is, about this feature, and he said, it's much cleaner with engagement numbers turned off. You can still view count if you care. So you can see the view count if you want. And that is amazing. I love that he said that. And it may not be clear why. The view count on any platform probably isn't exactly what you think it is. Every platform, to some extent or others, has to define for itself what will count as a view. And so for YouTube, it might be that you watched a video for 30 seconds or something. On Facebook, at one point, it was that you watched the video for like 2 seconds. It's one of the reasons there was issues with video on Facebook. For Twitter, though, it is more manipulated than on any other platform. It literally, if it's just on your feed at any point, even if you didn't interact with it, you scrolled immediately past it, it counts as a view. The numbers are massively overinflated. And so when you combine those two things, that we're gonna hide all the actual engagement and we're only gonna reveal the one that's the most artificial, that implies that Elon Musk does actually understand the issue with Twitter, that bots are driving a lot of the actual views, that real users are leaving, there's less engagement on the posts, and that seems like an issue. And it's not the only issue for Twitter. We will get to that in a second, but Adrian, we were talking about Blue Sky earlier on the show, and now both Twitter and Threads are making some changes, seeming to imply that they get that there's new competition. What do you make about this platform war that's developing?
I'm a little bit torn in whether it is like a real war, because it just seems like that Elon Musk is definitely got his tentacles into the Trump regime, which has its own social media platform. And so, as much as we know that Elon knows that he has completely failed in Twitter and creating it as an actual platform that people want to go to now, especially people are running to Blue Sky, I just wonder if he is going to find some way to completely leverage this to his benefit. And like he just recognizes that he's completely failed. I don't know. I wonder what's going to go on behind closed doors that will put us in a position to go, oh, okay.
Well, my concern was that he would just buy up all the other platforms too. Blue Sky is trying to assure people that that's not going to happen with Blue Sky, I guess. So that's good.
Which the thing is, we can't guarantee that, in part just because, like Twitter, Blue Sky is in a position where it is a company. And I don't know if Blue Sky is publicly traded, then it has to do what's in the best interest of its investors. And that is its first call to action, which is why Twitter went ahead and unloaded and fought Elon Musk to follow through with his promise to buy the company. So if Blue Sky is similarly situated where it has its duties, somebody offers it big money, it's in a good position where it probably has to take it.
Well, that's true, but they also point out that the fundamental architecture of Blue Sky is different than prior platforms in that it's more portable, that theoretically you don't have to start over from scratch. And eventually I think we will land on some sort of open source thing that taps into that underlying transmissible following. That's what I think people need. You should be able to choose a platform that has the features you want, but communicate with people even if they choose differently. I think that's what we all should want. We shouldn't just hope that the billionaire that controls our platform is cooler than the billionaire that controls the other platforms. But anyway, I want to talk about one other aspect of why Elon Musk should not be in charge of virtually anything, particularly social media platforms. And by this, I don't mean because he's a crazy conspiratorial right winger that calls people pedophiles. That's all true. But let's set that aside. The issue with Elon Musk is Elon Musk has particular tastes and he thinks you should just like what he likes. That's the issue with Elon Musk. And I want to demonstrate that. It's not really with the engagement numbers because I think that that's intended to hide information he doesn't want you to have. It's this other thing. People have suspected for a long time that tweets with links were being deprioritized. They weren't getting the reach that they should. And since billionaires have decided that every platform, whether people see your post or not, is going to be based on an algorithm rather than them having made the affirmative decision to follow you, that matters. Because now, if you're putting links into your tweets, which is a very common thing, that's what a lot of Twitter activity is, people aren't going to see it. And that was just confirmed. Paul Graham had tweeted, the deprioritization of tweets with links in them is Twitter's biggest flaw. It bothers me more than all the new right-wing trolls. Trolls I'm used to, but what draws me to Twitter is to find out what's going on, and you can't do that without links. To which Elon Musk replied, just write a description in the main post and put the link in the reply. This just stops lazy linking. So the fundamental issue here is he thinks people tweeting links is being lazy, which first of all, you could think that and then go F yourself. Who cares? That's what people want to do. If people like that sort of content, who are you to tell them that they shouldn't? Of course, he thinks that he's the best person in the world, so he does think that. But also, it's a little rich that the guy who has replied to maybe 1 million tweets with the laughing emoji face thinks y'all are being lazy with your tweeting. I think that's a little bit funny. But also, take a look at what he's telling you to do. So if you post a link in a tweet, that's lazy, screw you, nobody sees that. Instead, put the headline in one tweet and the link in a reply, and that's effort. Why are you forcing people to do that? And this is the fundamental issue with Elon Musk. His brain works in bizarre ways that just don't line up with how most people think, but he insists, no, it's my way. We don't do a focus group. We don't test things like Twitter used to. I just roll out the dumb idea I had. I force all of you to deal with. I roll back most of it because it's a terrible set of ideas. And that, even if you got rid of all of the right-wing conspiratorial nonsense, makes the platform worse for everyone. And the verification system, I think, is a massive example of that. But it's him not being willing to understand that him thinking something is a good idea doesn't mean it should be forced on everyone.
Yeah, you're so incredibly right in terms of he hasn't talked to people or even surveyed in any way to find out if this is an effective way of going about it. And it's really kind of scary with this thought that he's going to lead a government agency focused on efficiency when he is out here for his own company proposing these approaches that are not efficient. But definitely, I know Elon in terms of his brain and how it works, him being an autist, having a different neurotype. That's perfectly fine. Honestly, generally the thought is that we are more streamlined and efficient, or at least in theory. But, I think as far as Elon is concerned, it's a matter of just him being a silver spoon little wealthy man who just wants people to do what he wants to do, and that it should be good because he wants them to do it. And that's how he runs businesses as opposed to actually getting information and research and relying on knowledgeable, informed sources. It's privilege gone rogue, and it's completely and totally ignorant.
And I would sort of briefly add on to that. There's the couple different explanations as to why he's doing this. And I agree with you. I think it's business stuff. He'll say it's about laziness or whatever. Everybody understands these platforms want you to stay on the platform for as long as possible. So if you click on a link, you're by definition going to a different platform. And so they don't want you to do that. He'd rather you just post the entire article or video onto Twitter. And so in his mind, oh, this is smart. I stop them from doing that. And then they don't leave, they stay here. And understand, everybody thinks he's a genius, but that's not actually where it ends. No, you've made it so that the platform is worse. And so people don't want to be on the platform at all. I don't want to. If you're telling me my way of engaging with everyone is now going to be punished by the platform, well then screw you, I'm gonna go somewhere else. So in your effort to get us to be on your platform a little bit more, you've made it so that we don't wanna be on it literally at all. And a true genius would probably be able to grasp that. Anyway, we were gonna get into some stuff about Mark Zuckerberg trying to compete now with Blue Sky with Threads. He can go F himself. He had like 1.5 years to make the platform what it needs to be. Everybody told him exactly what he needed to do. He told them, no, I'm not gonna do that. Screw your news, screw your politics. And look, he's massively rich. Maybe he'll still be able to do it, but I hope that he fails. I honestly do. When you click the join button and become a tier 2 member, you get access to all of our weekly top 10 lists. What are you waiting for?